You ever walk into Home Depot and think, why are there so many different outlets? And why do some cost way more than others? And if I pick the wrong one, am I gonna mess something up? These all look pretty similar, but they are not. Some are safer, some are required, and yeah, some are just way more expensive. Why are they different sizes? What does TR and WR mean? How do you know if you need a 15 amp or a 20 amp outlet, especially if you have an older home like me? And most importantly, should you connect these wires in the back or wrap them around the screws like this? The most common confusion you're going to run into is a 15 amp outlet and a 20 amp outlet. And this has nothing to do with the wire. It's based on your breaker. Every breaker is labeled with its amperage, and this one's 20 amps. But here's the part that confuses people. If you have a 20 amp circuit like me, you can actually use a 15 amp outlet. And that's actually what most homes use. But if you have a 15 amp circuit, you do not want to use a 20 amp outlet. And price-wise, these are not crazy expensive. I picked up this one for about $450, I believe, and that's from a solid brand. When looking at an outlet, you might see 125 volts or 125 V on it. That's just standard for most homes. Nothing you really need to worry about here. 15 amp and 20 amp outlets are pretty easy to tell apart. They're gonna say right here in the center, and a 20 amp outlet has this sideways T slot on the top left. So don't overthink it. Just match your outlet with your breaker. Now, whether you realize it or not, you have definitely seen GFCI outlets before. Usually they're in kitchens and bathrooms, sometimes outside, garages. And this is where things actually start to matter. They're the ones with the test and the reset buttons. These shut off power almost instantly if there's an imbalance. Basically, they help protect you from shock. Now here's the important part. You only need one GFCI per circuit. If you install it at the first outlet in the run, everything downstream is protected, moving away from the panel. And these do not have to be expensive. I picked mine up on Amazon for about 12, 13 bucks. You don't need one at every outlet. It's just redundant. And if you want some extra protection, you can go with dual function, which adds AFCI protection for potential fire hazards as well. You'll also see labels like TR and WR, and this is where things can get confusing. TR stands for tamper resistant, which means there's little shutters inside that block anything except for a plug. Basically to stop kids from putting forks and things in there. I've got some in my house, but honestly, they can be kind of annoying if you don't have kids. But they are required in most homes now. And WR stands for weather resistant, and these are made for outside. They're built to handle rain, snow, and temperature changes. I actually picked up an exterior outlet I'm installing next week, and it was about $40, but it does come with a weatherproof cover and a box like this. But none of that is why some outlets are $1 and some outlets are $50. Most of the price difference that you're seeing here is because of the GFCI. It's not just an outlet, it protects you from getting shocked. And that's why they cost so much more. Some outlets are even more expensive. USB ports, smart outlets, all that. Personally, I just can't justify paying that much for an outlet. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Now for the $1 million question, J-hooks or backstab? Personally, I go off how I was taught. I use J-hooks on standard outlets, and I will use the back terminals on GFCIs. But I actually asked you guys, and out of 118 votes, only 1% said that backstabbing is fine. So yeah, most people are just not a fan of backstabbing. If you're actually installing outlets, check out this next video.